Now, this is just going to be another one of those videos where it's just me talking over gameplay, but I feel it's important to talk about the recent information and situation that's been going on with Payday 3. Now, last week, I put out a video of my initial thoughts on Payday 3 before I do a full-fledged review. And trust me, there is a full review coming. It's just going to take a while because I want to unlock all the weapons and have a maxed out skills. But in that video, I said Payday 3 was still worth buying. And spoiler alert, I still think it's worth buying and it's a great game. I stand by that. I think it's worth about $40 right now. But it was the day after launch, and I assumed that no one would be able to play on launch day. That was just my, a conservative estimate on how I know big online-only games launch. Well, I was right, and then it went on for another day, and another, and another, and it's been a week now, as I'm recording this, and it's gotten better, but for the first 4 days, it was an absolute nightmare. And Starbreeze has acknowledged this. And they had some pretty harsh corporate words to say in their in a statement they put out. I think it was Sunday. But the important thing is that they know exactly how much they fucked up, and they've, from what I can tell, are trying to be transparent about how hard they're working to try to fix it. And Tuesday, they did some maintenance, or it might have been Monday, and there's going to be more maintenance on Friday. So, and from what I can tell, it's been working. Since the patch on Tuesday, I've been able to play, and I've gotten no matchmaking errors. I did get a login error, but that was after me alt F4ing the game, so. But I just want to cover the information that's come to light from the live streams that they've been doing, because they've been every day now since the beginning of this week. They have been holding live streams for about an hour each, covering info and taking questions from the chat on YouTube and Twitch about Payday 3. First live stream they did on the 25th, Almir basically laid it out and said that the team is working right now on nothing else other than server stability, which, in all honesty, that's exactly what they should be doing. The servers killed themselves and couldn't handle the load on launch or for the days after. This is where the team's priorities should be. He also said that there'll be a patch on October the 5th that will help with issues like delayed interaction speed and general bugs. They also said that they're currently happy with how progression works in Payday 3, and initially I was fine with it too, but I'm starting to plateau at around level 60 when it comes to looking for challenges to do so I can progress. So I for one think that challenges are okay as a system, but heists also need to reward XP. It's just has to be how it is. Good news though, because apparently the team is considering adding a quick play feature or renaming loadouts or lobbies and with flares and text or whatever, which honestly I think is a great idea, and I don't know why it's missing. It was there in Payday 2. I don't know when adding stealth stealth flare or stealth or loud heist to the lobby was added for Payday 2, but it's there now, and it probably should have been there on launch for Payday 3. Same with CrimeNet. However, a quick play feature would be very much appreciated. CrimeNet really helped with well, at least for people like me who just were fine with any heist and just wanted to play with other people. But the big thing they let out in this live stream is that they announced that they are working on a new skill line called Transporter, in which finally my prayers have been answered. The skill line consists of an ability that lets the player carry 2 bags at once. Hallelujah. Also, during these live streams, they've been getting a lot of questions hinting towards Jacket. However, Jacket's not owned by Starbreeze, it's owned by Devolver with Hotline Miami, so it'd be nice to see him come back, but the ball's not in their court. The live stream they had on the 26th put a little more light on how Transporter will work in Payday 3. It's a new skill line that focuses entirely around carrying and deploying bags and bodies. The primary ability is, of course, being able to carry 2 bags. Another ability is being able to deploy a second deployable with a penalty cost, much like Jack of All Trades in Payday 2. And the most interesting ability, at least to me, is pick up and move bodies more effectively, which I think would be a great addition to the game. I, for one, would like the ability to crouch with a body and be able to pick them up faster, which hopefully Transporter will help me with in my stealth build. They talked a bit on how changes are made to Payday 3, that being its community feedback, analytics, and internal opinion. They talked about an offline mode again, however they clarified in the next livestream that there is not currently one being worked on, all the team is working on servers, which I'd say is okay at the moment. I think that the first quality of life update for Payday 3 should be a fucking offline mode. However, for the game to work as they want it, as it intended to launch last week, the servers need to be working. So, in my opinion, it's alright to wait. They go on a bit more about a variety of other topics, one of the big ones for me being health versus armor. Mio was a part of this live stream, and he went on to say that health is less prominent in gameplay because there's so many varieties of ways to get it, making armor a more valuable resource in inverse, because there's no way around getting armor unless you bring it in a resource or bring it as a favor. I, for one, think that how armor works right now is not optimal. And whenever I first saw Payday 3 and saw how the team described how armor worked back in their first dev diary video, I assumed that it would work a bit like Payday 2, but now working off chunks. How it works in the game right now is that you have chunks of armor. It's divided up depending on what vest you're wearing. It can either be 1 chunk, 2 chunks, 3, or 4. But how it works is that if you're shot, that pip of armor that's been chipped off can regenerate, and can regenerate more depending on skills, but that doesn't matter. If it's destroyed, you cannot get it back unless you use an armor bag. Now, I, for one, can play with this system, but I don't think it's optimal. I would prefer how I originally thought it was going to work, and that is if you're shot in an armor chunk but it's not completely destroyed, if you stay in cover, it will regenerate back to full like in Payday 2, and Payday the Heist. But if the armor chunk is completely broken, then there's no way to recover it without using an armor bag. That change, if armor worked like that, in my opinion, I think that it would fix a lot of problems and would make armor bags less dependent. Because now, yes, you do need armor if you want to recover it, but now, if you just play more conservatively, you can hold on to armor for a lot longer, letting players choose to bring other utility items like ammo bags and doctor bags. Hell, maybe even the sentries. Let me know what you think in the comments about the armor system. But moving on, they talked a bit about the results screen and how there's some information lacking there. I think that the results screen is also lacking a fair amount of information compared to Payday 2, which was also lacking information compared to Payday the Heist, so I suppose it's only tradition now to take away from the results screen. They talked about the idea of a seasonal heist, aka Halloween, seeing that that's the closest holiday that they've done a heist for. I don't know, I'd like the idea of a Halloween heist, but I don't know how it'd be handled in Payday 3, seeing that all the other Halloween heists have been either a fictitious prison, the safe house, or a room in the safe house. Now, a big thing that they've been talking about is RNG seeding. That being, whenever you restart a heist, you keep the same RNG, as opposed to it changing each time like in Payday 2. Now, they did talk about veteran players not liking this feature and letting the RNG go wild again like in Payday 2. Personally, I like the fixed RNG. And I consider myself a Payday 2 veteran. I may not have been playing for as long as many other people, but I definitely think I have the hours. I like the RNG seeding. I think it helps a lot when coordinating with a pub lobby who decides that they want to do stealth and when it comes to completing objectives. And I think that when it comes to speedrunning, it makes the game a lot more consistent and a lot more fun. Personally, I like it very much. The idea of going into a heist, failing it, and then knowing exactly where you messed up, and then fixing it on your next try. I really like the RNG seeding, and I'd hate to see it go. But it seems that there's enough pushback that's probably going to be pushed down to very hard, which is a shame. I like doing it on Overkill, for the maximum reward. But let me know how you feel about RNG seeding down in the comments. They talked about classic heists for a bit, and the idea of bringing other weapons from Payday 2, like the minigun or the flamethrower, as overkill weapons. I think they fit that role well. Livestream on the 27th didn't really cover any new ground, just more bug fixes and general quality of life assurances. However, they did talk a little bit about multi-day heists and bring up classic heists again. I, for one, have not totally missed their absence. I did find some long multi-day heists, like Frame and Frame, to be kind of tedious. But I, for one, think that multi-day heists bring a story opportunity when it comes to getting into the narrative Payday 3. Having a heist take place over a set period of days can show what the gang is doing during those days. In fact, you can even have cutscenes in between those days if you want. Show the gang going from safe house to safe house after a hit. Show the gang being found out in a safe house and have to fight their way out. I don't know, just something like that. The live stream for the 28th didn't really hold anything notable either. More questions about Jacket. When asked if Payday 3 will have a battle pass, Almir then said that they do not currently have their plans announced and how Payday 3's DLC will work. Personally, I've never been a fan of battle passes. I feel they always bring on a sense of FOMO. I've never been a fan of them. I've made my feelings clear on that in this video. So hey, yeah, as a quick note, on the live stream today on the 29th, and when I'm recording, Almir clarified that the season pass that they are working with is in no way a battle pass, a la Fortnite, and they have no plans on doing anything like that. So at least I'm happy to hear that. And because it's on my mind, there's been some controversy on the Reddit about bag values and why they've been hidden, and how much is it actually worth getting extra loot if it's a little payout compared to getting the bare minimum. Obviously, extra loot should be, comprehensible to the main bags you get along with pay. So, for instance, if you get 5 bags, I don't know the values, but 5 bags each worth 200,000. You throw in another bag, that should be 200,000 on top of that. So yeah, update. Andreas said it's a glitch. No big deal after all. And that's about it. If there's any bigger updates with these live streams that I miss in this video, I'll tack it on to the beginning of another one. But yeah, that's all I got. See you guys.